But let's face it, the news from the British motor industry is usually bad news, isn't it? Strikes and disputes, the odd shock horror story of unreliable models, uncompetitive model ranges. So it's nice for once to be able to come up with some really good news about the industry itself. The millionth Land Rover has just been made. Here reporting on a 28-year-old success story, Richard Hudson-Evans.
And here is where it all started. Made in 1948, in the very same Solihull production plant that's operating today, the start of what has really become quite a motoring phenomenon, looking very much as it does today, practical, yet still curiously fashionable. The workhorse, all British, from Warwickshire. Right alongside a bit of motoring history, the millionth example made only last week. And one man who's charted the progress of this remarkable vehicle, Graham Robson, the motoring historian. Graham, it's obviously all in the book, but how did the Land Rover story start?
It all started in 1947, when Maurice Wilkes, who was a director of Rover, was using an American Jeep on his farm in North Wales. His brother Spencer Wilkes, managing director of Rover, was also looking round rather desperately for a new product to fill a big new factory at Solihull.
Has the mechanical specification changed much over the years?
Very little. It was conceived as a made-of-all work, and it still is a made-of-all work. The basic specification includes a very strong steel chassis, four-wheel drive, and a body made almost entirely of aluminium pressings.
They've used different engines though, haven't they?
Yes, over the years the engines have enlarged. The original one was 1.6 litres. This one is now 2.25 litres. There's a diesel engine option and also a 6-cylinder option.
Why do you think it's been so successful?
I think it's been successful because it can literally do anything that it's asked to do, quite a few things that Rover never thought of as well, and it never seems to wear out.
Will the legend go on forever, do you think?
Well, at the rate they're making them, I'm sure it can, and I think the Rover sales force have a problem with repeat sales, trying to sell to people whose Land Rovers do last forever.
Well, next I'd like you to meet somebody who has been very much a part of the everlasting Land Rover story right from the beginning, and that is Tom Barton, Chief Engineer, the four-wheel drive part of Leyland Cars. Mr. Land Rover to his friends. Tom, perhaps you could tell us which is the most popular model that you sell?
Well, I suppose the vehicle which we sell the greatest number would be this model here, the 109 pickup truck.
Well, perhaps you'll give me a run round in it.
Certainly. Jump in.
How many other types of machine do you market?
In the basic Land Rover range, we have an 88-inch wheelbase and a 109. Of these wheelbases, we have from between 30 to 40 different styles of bodies between them. Also on those vehicles, we have a military range. We also do a 101-inch wheelbase, a 1-ton WD vehicle in 12-volt and 24-volt version, like that vehicle over there.
That's quite popular with the armies of the world, is it?
Well, it's British Army and Luxembourg Army at the moment. We have inquiries from others, but that has been specially done for the British Army.
What proportion of the total production is exported on Land Rovers?
We are still only in 80% export of all our Land Rover models.
I'm interested on the four-wheel drive part of it. You can either be in four-wheel drive or not, can't you?
Yes, you can be in two-wheel drive, or you can be in four-wheel drive high range. As you know, the Land Rover has 8 forward gears, 4 in high range, 4 in low. In high range, to get four-wheel drive, all you have to do is depress the four-wheel drive knob. In order to get low range, all you have to do is pull the low range lever rearwards.
And that'll pull you through anything?
That'll get you through anywhere.
Well, Tom, thanks very much. Great for the liver, if nothing else.
Yes, thank you.
People are quite interested, I think. How much do these vehicles cost?
These Land Rovers range from £2,200 upwards.
Right the way up according to the specification?
That's correct.
And how do you find demand is?
Oh, we're in the happy position that we can still sell all we can make.
Well, Tom Barton, all the very best of luck in keeping the balance of payments in a favourable position as far as your outfit's concerned.
Thank you.
in addition to the million Land Rovers, for the last 6 years, of course, it's been joined by the Range Rover, of which some 40,000 examples have been made. Different mechanical specification, but a couple of the other rules apply. There's quite a waiting list, and most of them land up overseas, more and more of them going to Middle Eastern homes. And that's where a specification such as this one will come in, because it's a very exceptional Range Rover indeed from Wooden Picket, one of the surviving British coach builders. The Sheikh Range Rover will sit here in air-conditioned, fully stereophonic, all electric luxury. He'll be able to keep in touch with the oil well on the telephone. He'll be able to have a drink or two, non-alcoholic of course, from the cooled drinks cabinet. But for $5,400 for the ordinary Range Rover, this one he'd be paying in excess of £12,000.